Let me ask you something real quick. Who are you when no one's watching? Not on social media, not the person you are when people are around you every day, but who are you when it's just you, your thoughts, your habits, and your character? Who are you when there's no validation, no crowd, and nobody patting you on the back? That's what we're tapping into today. What's good, everybody? Welcome to Tap In Monday. I'm Marvin Bagley, and this is my channel. Every Monday, I'll be bringing real conversations to you guys. I want to hear from you guys, different topics regarding, growth, faith, mental health, motivation, and inspiration for anyone that needs it. This channel is for everybody. If you're looking for something to get through the week, some positivity, the channel is for you. Outside of Tap In Mondays, also is going to be all of my music content, visualizers, behind the scenes studio sessions, content around my life, things that I do when I'm not, in public, or just living my life with my family, or whatever it may be. You guys will get to see that here, just to give you guys a glimpse of my life and who I am as a person. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited for that, and I'm excited to share that part of my life with you guys. So welcome to episode 1. I want to be real with you guys from the jump, man. I think that's very important to me. And that's the only way that the things that I bring to this channel will resonate with you guys. I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona. A lot of my family still, lives out here. I have 4 brothers, 2 older and 2 younger. So I'm the middle child. So that's definitely an experience growing up. And yeah, man, I've been playing, basketball my whole life. Me doing music for almost my whole life. Since I was a kid, I was, doing both. And I remember going from, practices to going right home, making sure my homework is done, and then I'm, writing music. So ever since I could remember, basketball and music has been a part of my life, and it just followed me, all the way through high school, all the way through college, playing basketball in Arizona, going to college, at Duke University, and then coming out I just finished my 8th season. In the NBA with the Dallas Mavericks. A lot goes on in life. You can only imagine the things that we have to do as athletes. We have to follow a schedule. You have to stay disciplined when you're in off season, even in season, just making sure your body is up to a standard to go out and compete. And a lot that can take a toll on you mentally and physically. And then you, on top of that, I try to let out all of my feelings through music. It definitely could take a toll on the person you are becoming in the moment. That is really why I wanted to start the week 1 episode off, like, who are you when no one is watching? Because that is something that I'm continuing to learn about, something that I'm continuing to just work through as a human. People see athletes or celebrities and think that they don't have real problems or real thoughts or feelings, and it's kind of interesting to see. They see us go out every day and do what we do best, and we entertain for them, and they just think everything is all good, and that's the complete opposite. You know what I mean? There's things that people go through in everyday life that I go through. I just want to bring it to you guys every Monday. I want to bring it to you guys and show you guys that we're all human. For me, the topic that we're talking about, developing your character and who you are as a person when no one's watching, is really important, because I think that's the most important times for us. We can go out in the world, no matter what area or field that you're in, you work on your craft so much, and that's what everyone sees. You can have people that are super great at something, but the character is not right. I've seen it plenty of times in my life, and it make me think, like, who do I want to be? What do I want to be remembered for? How have I impacted others? And how have I shown God's work through me to others while I'm here? And that's something that I really have been thinking about more and more. The first thing I want to talk about today is how social media makes us perform a certain version of ourselves. You see it a lot of times where people post themselves online, with the cars, the houses, trips they going on. They make it look like it's all good, make everything look exciting, makes everything look like everything's all, put together, and they have everything in line. And the reality of that, like, for me, I've seen people that, post and everything looks good, but they're struggling or outside of that, and they're trying to find themselves. And the dangerous part of that is, you see people that see those things, and then they feel like, oh, I'm not enough, or they feel like I need to get that, or I need to get to this point. That's a dangerous game, because you start to see comparisons. People start to play the comparison game. Oh, they had this, I don't have that, I need to get to this point. Me, even myself, I've been in that position where You know, I've seen things on social media. I've seen people post certain things and it's like, man, why am I not there yet? Or why don't I have this yet? What am I doing wrong to not be in that position? You know what I mean? And that's not a good place to be. You know, I feel like I started to think a lot. I started to overthink. I started to put myself in a box in a way where it was like, I need to get that. I'm not thinking about anything else. I need to see that. I need to get that. I need to feel what that feels like because it looks exciting. But you forget about what really matters. And that's, what person are you building on the inside? Because on the outside, it looks like everything is good. But on the inside, you know, you could be depressed. You can be sad. You can be going through something that you don't want to talk about maybe. And I think the best thing that you can do for that is just to really focus on yourself. Don't worry about the outside. Don't look around you at the next man or woman next to you. Don't try to compare your life to someone else's life or your success to someone else's success, because at the end of the day, everybody has a different path. Everybody's lives look totally different, and you can't judge one thing by looking on social media, and a lot of people do, and that's why you can see this kind of, we have people having to try to keep up, or they're trying to keep up with certain images and things instead of being or trying to be, you know, themselves. The second thing I want to talk about is how real growth happens in private. You know, I mentioned it early on in this video, but when you are with yourself and you're in your thoughts and you're figuring out who you want to be and your goals, that's where the real growth happens. I had to really kind of, you know, go off by myself at times and be with myself, because that's the hardest thing to do and it's uncomfortable to do. And that's why a lot of people avoid it. You know, it's a very tough thing to point out all the bad things about yourself or the things you need to work on. Super uncomfortable. And for me, I'm still doing it to this day. And it's a process, daily process of fixing the things that I need to fix that, you know, I don't see helping me or helping me grow or helping me get better. The real growth happens when no one is watching you. That, you know, who you are in private shows up in public. You see that time and time again. And I would say to you guys to lock in on that so that you can show up in public and be in your purpose and be the person that you want to be. A scripture that has helped me throughout this process is Proverbs 4:23. Guard your heart above all else. Everything you do flows from it. And to me personally, that has been a verse that has helped me in this process in terms of, I look at my heart, I connect it as my heart is my private life. For me, it's how am I behind closed doors when no one's looking at me? How do I, you know, put the right things in my spirit? How do I put the right things in my heart to better myself as a person? And when people see me out in public, or when people see you out in public, it's like, that's who you are. What the work that you put in behind closed doors, like I mentioned before, is you're gonna see the work. Just like with anything, I'm gonna use basketball as an example. Is you go to the gym to get better. You go to the gym, work on your jumper. Game time comes, it's like second nature. And that's the same thing with life. You practice these things. You practice, you know, trying to put the right things in your mind, trying to focus your mind on the right things. And you go out in the world and that just becomes who you are. Like I said, this verse has helped me kind of realize that more. And it's definitely a verse that is in my favorites. Every episode, I want to leave you guys with a challenge for the week. This week, I challenge all of you guys to do something for your growth that no one will see. No likes, no validation, just you and the work. That's where the real change lives. Whether that's mentally, whether that's physically, start that chapter, start that habit, whatever it is, do it for you, not for the applause. That's it for episode 1 of Tap In Monday. Thank you guys for being here from the jump. It means a lot. It means more than you know. But I want to hear from you guys. Drop a comment and tell me, you know, what's one thing that you're going to work on in private. No judgment here, just real talk, a community that actually cares. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you soon. We'll be here every Monday. Subscribe so you don't miss it. See y'all on the next one.